What's up guys, my name is Alan and welcome to my channel Alan Architectural. So this is episode 11 of the Revit beginners tutorial we are having on YouTube for our hotel design. As you can see, I'm currently on the 3D view. Just having a feel of what I have in there. So I'm going to go into the ground floor plan, and what we are going to do first is we are going to place the door for this storage, these two storage right here. I'm going to use the same door I used for the janitor's room. I'm going to hit on CS on my keyboard, and I'm going to leave about 200 millimeters away from that wall, and I'll click that right in there. 200 millimeters again as well away from that wall, and then you put that in there. Hit on escape key on your keyboard a couple of times to get out of that command. So we are going to place in some floor slabs. Now let's head into any of the elevation view for this. So you can see from our ground level to our ground floor plan, we have 1000 millimeters, which means from here to here is 1 meter. All right, it's just 1000 millimeters. So that means I would want a floor thickness of the same 1000 millimeters. So let me go back into my ground floor plan. Let me try and place in the floor slabs. So I'm going to go into the architecture tab. Make sure you're in the architecture tab, guys, and then you just click on floor right there, or if you want you can click on the drop down menu and then go to floor architectural. It's also the same thing if you just click on the floor right there. So when you move into the properties panel, you are going to have a quite number of floor slabs. So you can select any of the floor slab. Make sure you select any of them and then you duplicate. All right, so I selected a generic 300 floor slab. I selected this, and then when I selected it, I went into the edit type, and then I duplicated, and then I named that floor type 1. All right, so I'm going to cancel that out of there. It was just a demonstration. So I'm going to select that floor type 1 I selected. So this is that floor type 1. I'm going to hit on edit type once more. I'm going to hit on edit type, and I'm going to, after hitting on edit type, you would want to go into edit, and then you would want to place insert one tab in there. So make sure you insert one tab, and then you move it to the top. All right, you move it to the top by clicking on up, and it goes up to the top, and then leave the structure in the middle. All right, with the category, we're going to leave it as it is, and then we just give it a thickness of 950. And with this, make sure you head into the materials tab, and then you search for veneer type. You can search for it right here. Just search tile in there, and then you're going to have that go into flooring over here, and then you're going to have it and load it up into the software. So when you load that up into the software, you'd want to cancel out of there. You just give it a thickness of about 50 so you just click on it and type 50 in there, and then hit on OK. I created that floor slab previously. I created that floor slab in there. So we have this floor slab in here with a thickness of 1000 millimeters. Now I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to reduce the thickness to 800. All right, I'm going to reduce the thickness to 800. I want that floor slab to step down a little bit in our washrooms, and then with my height offset from ground is height offset from level, we are going to want to do that negative 150. all right, make sure you do that negative 150. Move your mouse pointer in and it registers. So we are going to create that floor slab only in our washroom, in the washroom space. All right, only in the washroom space. So we are going to click on this pick line right here. You can either click on this pick wall also. You notice my pick wall has an offset of 200 millimeters, which means that when I'm placing in the floor slab and then I move my mouse pointer to a wall, all right, it's going to give it an offset of 200 millimeters, all right, away from the wall. I don't want that. I want it to be 0. It's going to be inside the wall. So I'm going to use the pick line too. So I'm going to draw that in. Remember guys, I gave it a negative 150 from the floor, from the level. So I'm going to click that, and it ends in here. This portion is a staircase area. We don't want our stair to drop down. So we're going to click on TR over there, and then just trim and extend this. Make sure you trim and extend that. Trim and extend this to this, and trim and extend this to this as well. Now hit on OK and then tick that out of there. So let's head into the 3D view. Okay guys, we wouldn't be able to see, we created that floor slab right in here. It's right in here in our design. We wouldn't be able to see it because let's move this floor slab down a little bit. Move it down. Let's move it down. All right. Or you can make it select the ground level, or you can select the ground level. Yes, right there, and it moves to that ground level. Okay, hit on this cube right here and just select it, and then move it all the way to that wall right there. So it's perfect in here. So we've created that washroom slab in that space. It's in there. When we start rendering and we move into that space, you're going to see it. So let's get back into the ground floor plan, and we want to mirror that to the other side as well. So just hit on your tab key on your keyboard, just hit on tab key. We have that floor slab in there, and we'll have to select our mirror tool, and then we'll mirror that to the other side as well. Let's go into our 3D view. Let's see what we have. So we have that floor slab also in here, and the same thing with our wall. It's not matching, so just hit on the cube, make sure you pan around and make sure it's straight forward. All right, and then you just move that, move it to align with the walls down there. Exactly. So we have that floor slab in there. So we've created the floor slab. So the floor slab type 1 is what we are using for our washrooms. All right, we would want to use the same thing for this area as well. So let's get back into the floor slab. Let's get back into the floor. So this floor type 1, we did that. Make sure it's having a -50. All right, and then just select your pick line 2, and then just select this as well, select this, and also this as well. Now hit on TR to trim. Hit on TR to also trim over here. And we've pretty much trimmed everything in here, so it's in there as well. Let's just select on, hit on OK, and let's go into our 3D view. Let's see. So our floor slab is in there. So we've given it a step down of 150 mm. All right, of 150 mm. So it's not going to flash exactly with the 1 meter main floor slab. Okay, so we've given it about a step down of 150 in case there should be flood. Maybe someone should leave the tap on in the washrooms, it wouldn't pour and flood, and that water is going to get into the main building. All right, the floor there should be able to contain the water to a certain amount before maybe the cleaners or someone might notice and they might close that tap. So let's go back into the ground floor plan. So we would want to create different floor slabs for all these different spaces, because they are not going to have the same finish. All right, so we are going to want to go back into the architecture tab. We'll find our floors, click on that, and then we'll move on the drop down menu. So when you get to the drop down menu, we have this floor type 1. Just click on edit, and then you would want to duplicate that. All right, so it's going to call this floor type 2. So this floor type 2 is what we are going to use for the main building. All right, so we are going to go into edit, and let's make this 950 1 meter. Let's make it 950. Now do not worry about the finish right there. We are going to change that. We'll change that when we start rendering. All right, right now we just want to put our stuff in there, so we'll change that. So do not worry about the finish, whether it's having the same finish up there. So just hit on OK, and we are going to place that floor slab. So make sure you select the pick line 2, or you can draw if you want. You can start drawing, move, click on this, and then move all the way up here. Click on that, move all the way to this side as well. Click on that, move all the way to this side, move all the way here as well. So you see, you notice it's not snapping to the end right there. I want it to snap to the end. So what you can do is hit on SE on your keyboard, and then snap to that end points right there. Snaps to that end point. So we'd want it to snap to the end points, and then you just click on that. Now you notice if we had used the pick line, our job here would have been very easy. All right, it would have been done by now, and would have just been trimming the edges. So we are using this for this main access. Do not worry about the shaft. All right, do not worry about the lift. We are going to use a shaft to create that hole, and it's going to have that hole in there for our lift. So do not worry if the floor slab covers it. All right, so let's just click on OK, and we have that in there as well. So let's head into the 3D view. Let's head into the 3D view. So you will notice we have our floor slab in here. We have that floor slab in here. And one more thing, guys, make sure the height offset, you put it back to 0. All right, you notice the floor slab is not exactly the 1 meter, so we'll put it out on 0. We are going to put that on 0. You notice it's now flashing exactly with that door, so it's on the same height with that door. So we place that on 0. All right, make sure it's on 0. Now I'm going to go back into the ground floor plan. I'm going to want to select that floor slab in there, and then I'm going to want to hit on edit boundary, and then I'm going to create, I don't want it to flash again. It looks like our walls in there are not picking exactly, so just go to into edit boundary, and then just pick the rectangular tool, and then just draw that to cover that space for our lift. Just draw that to cover that, so it's going to create like a void in there. So let's go into the 3D view, and beautiful. Now you can see it looks like it's standing out in there, which is nice. It's standing out. So we are going back into the ground floor plan. We are going to create more floors. So we are done. So our floor type 2 is actually for the main one, so don't forget, guys. So we are going to click on the floor again, and then we are going to want to go into edit type, and then we are going to duplicate once again, and we are going to call this one floor type 3. So like I said, do not worry about the finish. We'll come and deal with that later. So we are going to use this for our spa and gym as well. So let's draw. Let's use the pick line tool. I would want to be fast, so just click on that, and then just click on here. Just click in here as well. Click here as well. One more here. So we are done. So now we are going to trim and extend TR on your keyboard. That is the shortcut, unless you have watched my previous video on how you can customize. All right, so just click on join on how you can customize your own shortcut tools. All right, so just click on that and trim. So just click on this and trim it with this as well. So it's trimmed. Just hit on OK. We have that in there. Let's head into the 3D view, and you would see our floor slab is in there. Beautiful. So it's still having that negative 150. So let's change that to 0. I forgot, should have changed that to 0. So we have that to 0 in there as well. So this door is exactly on that. All right, so that is it. So we have that floor slab also in there as well. Let's get back into our ground floor plan, and we would want to mirror this to the other side as well. We would want to use this for the other side, so we'll mirror it for the other side. So it's mirrored to the other side as well. As you can see, it's mirrored. We have those two floor slabs in there. They are all mirrored in there. So let's get back into the ground floor plan. We are back in the ground floor plan, and what we want to do now is to create the floor slabs for these areas as well. So with the staircase area, I'm going to use the same floor slab. I'm going to use the floor type 2 I used for the main area, the floor type 2. So I'm going to select the floor type 2. Make sure I change this to 0. All right, I'm changing it to 0. So it's only the floor type 1 is negative 150 because we want it to step down, and you know our thickness was not even up to a meter. All right, so we are going to draw that same floor slab for our staircase area as well. So I picked the rectangular tool. I thought it was going to draw diagonal, all right, which it doesn't. So we would have to use our pick line. Just use the pick lines. Just click on that, click on this, and then just click on this as well. So now TR on your keyboard, and just click on this line right there and trim it with this. All right, it's trimmed. Click on this, trim with that, and then just trim this with this, and trim this with this as well. So you can hit on your finish tool in there, and it's also in there as well. So now hit the tab key to select that floor slab. So when you notice it's selected, you click there, and then you just mirror that probably to the other side, because we have the same thing over here. So we've mirrored that to the other side, and now we would want to create floor slabs for these areas as well. So with this area, I'm going to use the same floor type 2. So I'm going to go back and then just select the same floor type 2. So our floor type 3 was for this area. Okay, so we are going to use the same floor type too. So I'm going to use the pick line. Just select this and select this, select this, select this. Escape key a couple of times, TR on your keyboard, and then you just trim this with this, trim this with that, and also trim this with this, and trim this with that as well. Hit on the finish. We have that in there. And let's get back into here. So here I'm going to, in this areas right here, I'm going to use the floor finish 3. I'm going to use the floor type finish 3. All right, I'm going to go back in there. I'm going to select the floor type finish 3, and I'm going to put those floor slabs in there. Escape key a couple of times, TR on your keyboard to trim and extend that. Trim this with this, trim this with that. So it's just for this entire area. All right, so we have that in there as well. So now I want to create the floor slab for this as well. So I'm going to use the same floor type finish 3. I'm going to use the pick line 2. Pick that, pick that, pick that, pick this as well. Escape key a couple of times, TR on your keyboard to trim and extend, trim and extend. All right, trim with this, and also trim with that. Now hit on your finish 2. We have that in there. So I'm going to use the same. I'm going to use floor type 2. I'm going to use floor type 2 for this one as well. Floor type 2. So guys, I hope you guys are following through with whatever we are doing in here. All right, it's very simple. You just have to draw the floor slabs in there. All right, and hit on OK. Let me head into the 3D view. Let me see what we have. Beautiful. So we are almost done with our floor slabs. All right, you can see they are in there. So this place is the shaft for our lift. So we are not done. We are not done. Head back into the ground floor plan. We'd have to create floor slabs for here as well. So I'm going to use the floor type 2. I'm just going to use the same floor type 2. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to use the same floor type 2. And I'm going to move this in here. I'm going to move that also in here as well, and move this also in here, and then select that with this as well. Ideally you have to create it in every space, so you have to pick the particular space and then you create, because you would want a different floor finish for that space. All right, but I want to use the same floor finish for all this entire space. So hit on any space over there, and we are done. Let's head into the 3D. Let's see, we've created all our floor slabs on all the spaces. So we have our floor slabs on every single space in there. We've created all our floor slabs for every single space in our building. Now let's get back into the ground floor plan. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into the mezzanine floor. I'm going to head straight into the mezzanine floor and check some things out. So I have this also in here. I have all of them in here. Now I'm going to go into the first floor plan. All right, okay, so we have this in here as well. All right, so now what we are going to do in our first floor plan is we are going to want to move this. All right, we would want to move this wall all the way to this slab right here. Make sure you move it all the way to that slab right there. On join. Now TR on your keyboard to join that with this, and also you'd want to do the same thing for this as well. So just hit on TR on your keyboard and then just trim this with this, and then hit on the on join. All right, we're going to create a floor slab, and then we'll just use a railing for each of the spaces. All right, so we are going to do the same thing for here as well. But with this space, what I'm going to do now is hit on SL on your keyboard and then just split that wall right there. So that wall has been cut. So I'm going to hit on TR to trim that wall to this wall, and then I'm going to delete this wall out of the way. Beautiful. And I'm going to do the same thing as well over here. Since I don't have any other building next to it, I can just trim it and it comes in here. So TR on my keyboard, and then I trim it and it comes in here. Beautiful. So I'm going to do the same thing also. TR, trim, and it comes in here. And then SL on my keyboard to cut that out of the way, and TR to trim, and it comes in here. And then I'll just delete this out of the way, which is DE on my keyboard. So we have that in there. Let's head into the 3D view. Let's see what we've done. Okay guys, so we're coming out with something lit in our design. So let's get back into the mezzanine, the first floor. So we've done all these changes in here. So let's do the same changes for the second. We want to do the same. We would want to do the same changes. All right, it's probably just going to be the same change. So let's do the same change for the second floor as well. So I'm not going to explain how I'm doing it. So it's SL. I'm going to delete that out of the way, and then TR on my keyboard, trim and extend this, trim and extend this, and then just delete this out of the way. And TR to just trim this to this. Make sure you select on join, and it does that. TR, trim this to this, on TR again, on join. And what I'm going to do, SL, cut it over here, so you can just trim this to this. All right, and then you can trim this to this as well, and then you can just DE out of there. And we are done with our second floor very quickly. Going back into the third, the same thing. TR, trim this to this, hit on join. TR, this to this, on join. We are still in that command do, so we can just trim this to this and just trim this to this as well. And then we would want to split that wall. All right, we would want to split it. Or what we can also do, guys, is just the same TR. All right, you can just hit on the same TR. All right, and then on join that over there. All right, I totally forgot I had that shortcut. So we can go into the second floor. We were working on the second floor. Oops. So we can go into the fourth floor. Let's head into the third. We're done with the third, so let's get into the fourth. So it's probably just going to be TR our lives. So let's use the TR on join over there, and then just TR this to this, on join. So we are done with that. Also on our third floor, we've done that in there. We've TR'd everything we had in there in our space. All right, so now we are good to go. So we can actually create a floor slab for this portion right there, this first floor. So we'd have to do it for the first floor. So we'll have to create different floor slabs for each of the spaces in there. Then we would copy that to the other floors since they are typical floor plans. But we are going to do that in episode 12 of this tutorial. We are going to do that in episode 12. So I want to pause here so you guys can further up, continue to wherever we've ended in here. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I'll catch you guys in episode 12. Peace out. I'm still working real hard on a Saturday. A future I don't see from a mile away.